Welcome to the Culture and Tourism session. My name is Panningshuan from Nankai University in China. I'm honored to serve as the moderator for today's session. It's great pleasure to welcome all of you to the 20th Jeju Forum. Thanks for coming, and I hope you will enjoy today's session. The theme of today's session is New Quality Productivity Force Empower Innovation and Shared Prosperity in Culture and the Tourism Industry. As we all know, the culture and the tourism industry is changing fast, especially with new technologies. In this session, we'll discuss how new productive forces are reshaping the future of tourism industry. Today, we are lucky to have an excellent group of speakers with us. They will share their knowledge and ideas with us. Please join me in welcome Dr. I춘샤오. Dr. Liang Sai. Dr. Renli앤핑. Dr. Liboyan. Before we begin the presentation, please allow me to introduce the first speaker. Professor I춘샤오 is from Nankai University in China. She has received several honors, including the Distinguished Young Scholar Award from the International Association for China Tourism Studies and the Reading Star Award from the China Tourism Education Alliance. Over the past 5 years, Dr. Li has authored more than 40 SSCI journal papers. She also serves on the Asia Pacific Council of Travel and Tourism Research Association. Let's welcome Professor I춘샤오 for the first presentation.
Everyone. I'm so delighted to come to Jeju again to share our research with so many prestigious scholars and talented PhD students. This is a very popular and cutting-edge topic at AI, and I still remember 16 years ago, in 2008, when I was about to start my PhD study. I lived in a very old British lady's house, and there was no mobile data, no internet access. And that year was an Olympic game year held by China. By that time, the only pleasure thing for me is to get up at 7 o'clock, walk to the campus, and get access to the internet and see how many gold medals the Chinese team won the day before. So for a very long time, my supervisor mistakenly thought I am a very diligent student because he thought I always come to the school earlier than him. But look, what happened after 16 years. Not to mention that we have unlimited mobile data. That yesterday, President Kim even told me that in the near future, there even can be an AI professor which replace our jobs. So maybe by that time I'm not a diligent student, but now I have to really work hard to be sure that I'm not replaced by an AI professor. So for the past years, our research team have been working on the topic of how AI can empower our tourism industry. And for the following 12 minutes, I'm going to report some of our research findings. As a service industry, we all know that AI has played a lot of role in service providing, especially in hotel, restaurant, and some tourism attraction areas. But tourism experience is unlike daily experience. That's why when we act as a tourist, we always look for some local, distinctive features or experiences that we would like to experience. And this is why every time when we go to a destination, the first thing we are going to do is look into the local cuisine or local food, what we can try. So that's why last night for the dinner, all we had is 2 dishes. The one is beef large in casting, and the other one is beef small in casting. And they are really very delicious. I like it. In order to provide the local distinctiveness of destinations, we can't help thinking maybe AI can play more roles than just a service instrument or service provider. So we have come up with this concept called AI localization. Whether AI can, we all know that AI has become replacement for more and more human employment. It's just a question that when more and more human staff of tourism destinations be replaced by AI, whether the destination can lose some of the local distinctiveness, whether the communication of AI or the interaction between AI and tourists can enhance more destination locally. So, according to the communication theory, maybe besides as a service instrument, AI can also serve as a destination ambassador to communicate with tourists what are the special characters of this beautiful place. And then AI localization refers to the extent to which AI establishes a connection with a specific region and a place and reflects or conveys local symbols such as local landscapes, local cultural heritage, and local customs. So we have conducted a large number of in-depth interviews with tourists to see how AI can be localized. By doing this research, we have identified 3 dimensions to make an AI localization, which include the verbal cues, non-verbal cues, and the contextual background or contextual design. It's easy to understand the contextual design means when an AI app or robot communicate with tourists, whether the background is embedded in local culture. For example, this is an AI speaker for Guangxi province in China. We can put the local scenic behind this speaker to show the local background. And besides that, we found that verbal cues is the most important communication way to show local needs for an AI. It includes the pronunciation, the rhythm, and the speed. And also, besides the verbal cues, we can say all the appearance, the total setting, and the behavior patterns can also play an important role to localize an AI. This is a series of studies we have conducted to explore how AI can act as a destination ambassador. Compared to a human being speaker, AI has a lot of advantages. For example, it can never suffer from personal crashment. And with its applicability, feasibility, and controllability. AI can play a very good role as a destination ambassador. At first, we have explored if we use AI to act as a destination ambassador, whether we can localize it to attract more tourists. And in this study, we use the schema inconsistency theory. We can imagine that the schema means the existing network of knowledge or experience existed in people's mind. For example, we always think a bird in the bird cage, and we always think a car driving on the road, which are the information that is consistent with our schema. So normally people would assume an AI or a robot tends to speak standard language to provide standard services. But what about if you see a car flying on the sky, or a robot speaking in a local accent? It's kind of inconsistent with your schema. And during this situation, we may pay more attention to the information the AI expressed. That's why we propose that compared to standard accent, if an AI application can integrate with a local accent, it can draw more attention from tourists, which lead to positive surprise and complete trust, and then following with a higher or increased visit intention. And then we have conducted 3 on-site experiments with all sorts of AI applications implemented in local accent. We found that, especially for those people who are familiar with those local accents, the effect of AI accent is more pronounced. And the second one, we were thinking about tourism sustainability. You know, in the hotel or restaurant, if the human staff tell the tourists to be environmental friendly, maybe some tourists will feel it annoying. But what about if we use tourism AI to persuade tourists to do environmental sustainable behavior? Now we try to explore if an AI speaks in a local accent, whether the persuasion power can increase. And then we found the effect of this. And the reason is that when an AI speaks in a local accent, it increases the perception of groundedness. In Chinese, groundedness means 接地气, which means it's deeply connecting to the people, to the past, and to the history. When the AI sounds like 接地气, sounds like groundedness, people tend to be persuaded more or open more to his persuasion information. And then an interesting additional finding is that especially for the people from large cities, the groundedness feeling is more pronounced when AI speaking local accent. And there are also some other future directions or future research questions we think that are important to look into when we think about how AI can do in tourism sectors and how they cannot. For example, besides a service provider or service instrument, AI can play a destination ambassador role. In addition, we all know that tourism experience sometimes is all about host and guest interaction. So whether AI can play a smart resident, which is a question that left for all of us to think about. And at the end, I would like to return to the issues I mentioned at the beginning of this topic. It's about whether AI professor can replace us. Actually, indeed, once I asked my students, whether do you think the AI professor can replace all your teachers? And I still remember that one student told told me that, teacher, I think to some extent, I think maybe AI can replace you for your teaching functions, but it can never replace you for your emotional connections, personal supports, and more importantly, the moral and the value education to us, to tell us how to be a good person. And I think that's the same for the use of AI in tourism sector. We all can say that AI will definitely bring more and more power to tourism industry to make us more happier and convenient. But it should be us, especially our fellow students, who determine, design, and decide which kind of power and how can we make use of this power. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Lee, for your meaningful presentation. The idea of AI localization and AI agent is very interesting. It's great to see how AI can do more than just help with tasks. Now let's welcome to our second speaker, Professor Liang Cai. It's my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Liang Cai. He will continue the discussion by offering another perspective on the innovation in culture and the tourism sector. Dr. Liang Cai is a professor of tourism management at the College of Tourism and Service Management in Nankai University. His research focuses on tourism, big data, online reviews, and the sharing economy. Dr. Liang Cai has published over 40 papers in top journals, including Annals of Tourism Research, Tourism Management, Journal of Travel Research, International Journal of Hospitality Management, and so on. He also serves on the editorial boards of SSAI journals like Humanities and Social Science Communications. Let's welcome Dr. Liang Cai for his presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Liang from Nankai University. Today I will want to share topic named opportunities and challenges of new quality productive forces empower the tourism digital platforms. I simply choose this topic because one of my main research topic is about AI application in tourism digital platforms, and through this speech I want to share some insights about how AI application in tourism digital platforms will affect the behavioral patterns of tourists or users. And I want my presentation or my sharing can motivate the audience to have some more some promising research topics or research questions in the future. So this is contents because our forum's topic is about new quality productive forces. So I present one slide about new quality productive forces. And I think every of you should be familiar with this concept. It highlights productive upgrade, not just adding more workers or machines, but using some digital technologies to transform how we produce and serve. So it mainly includes three parts of technologies. One is about digital technology clusters, including big data, cloud computing, and other technologies. And also it highlights the application of AI, including generative AI, which is very popular research topics in the recent days. And also the green and low carbon technologies, including clean energy systems, carbon capture and storage. So as I mentioned before, I will share some insights about how AI application in digital tourism platforms can impact the tourism behavioral patterns. And I will simply summarize some opportunities and risks brought by AI application in tourism digital platforms. So I will share from 4 perspectives. From the information generation, information transmission, information direction, and information application. So first, from the perspective of information generation, I think some of you should hear about a new design, which is very frequently used in many OTAs and e-commerce platforms named as AI summary. AI summary is a function that it can summarize a lot of reviews, and it will list the summary reports at the top of the review page. So through the AI summary function, users can simply directly read the AI summary content rather than reading a lot of reviews. So the benefits of this function is that it can directly reduce users' information searching costs and also enhance the content discovery efficiency. But it will also bring some unintended consequences. The most important thing is that it will directly reduce the visibility of the online reviews, because as I mentioned before, a lot of potential consumers will just read the AI summary information rather than directly notice the specific reviews. So also it will cause some negative feedback loop. For one thing, it will reduce the content exposure, then the motivation for the knowledge contributors will be also weakened, because lots of reviewers tend to post reviews in order to attract the audience attention, such as attracting some fans or followers. So it will also cause the fewer knowledge contributors, creators that cause a negative impact on the overall quality of information in the platform. An interesting thing is that because AI summary is just rely on the information generated by users, rely on recent online reviews. So it cannot generate new knowledge. So if the review quality of the platform is reduced, it will also cause the lower accuracy of AI summary information in the future. So how to balance the advantage and disadvantage of this new function should be a promising risk topics in the future. And also, from the perspective of information transmission, I think everyone should hear about the personalized recommendation, because now many AI-powered tourism platforms tend to apply deep learning algorithms to analyze users' historical preference and behavioral data to provide some personalized recommendations. It can simply improve the efficiency and matching between tourism service and providers. But it also can bring some unintended consequences, such as AI price discrimination, because many platforms apply the dynamic pricing strategies. It means that, for example, if we tend to book a hotel, if we book the hotel at different times, the price will be different. So if the platform or your devices, your phone can monitor whether your intention to book a hotel room is high or low, it can just give you a high price or low price. So it is a price discrimination issue. So how to face this issue is also interesting research question in the future. And from the perspective of information interaction, because now many platforms have used intelligent services, so it means that AI integration has improved information interaction paradigms and achieving significant improvements in service efficiency and user experience. However, not everyone can enjoy the benefits brought by AI, because some people without technology skills, such as old people, they cannot familiar use the AI application and obtain the benefits. So they may be get left behind and also encounter the more prominent information asymmetry issue. So how can we face this issue is also a promising research questions in the future. I have listed three promising directions. One is how to improve or how to motivate some older people or other people who lack technology skills to to improve their skills. And second, from the designer's perspective, how to design a function or a system which can be easier used for older person, older group. For example, can they set some big buttons or simple menus for some people who lack the technology skills? One example is RMB's accessibility mode, and finally is about algorithmic justice. And finally is information application issue. I think we should notice that a lot of the common AI application in a lot of platforms, such as e-commerce platforms, is AI chatbot to answer users or consumers' questions. So why we allow AI chatbot or AI helpers to answer our questions? The first thing is that it is a 24 hours and 7 days service. The consumers can get answers anytime. There is no waiting for office hours. And also, the speed for the question answering is also fast. And also, if a lot of product providers and service providers can apply the AI chatbot, it will save a lot of human staff costs. But it means that it can give the lower price for you. So it also brings some disadvantage or some risks, such as the service humanization. I think Professor Lee have mentioned something about that. For one thing, that at normal situations, AI cannot understand the local accent, and also a lot of research have argued that AI has no human warmth. So an interesting research question is that how can we solve the service humanization issue? For example, how can the platform use some advanced technologies such as context-aware NLP or effective computing to fix this issue? So this is my sharing. Thanks for your listening.
Thank you, Dr. Liang, for your insightful presentation. Next, let's turn to our third speaker, Dr. Ren, who will continue to expand today's theme by sharing her insights on smart tourism. Dr. Ren is a professor at Macau University of Tourism. She has more than 23 years of experience in teaching and managing hospitality and tourism programs across Macau, Hong Kong, and mainland China. Her research covers tourism behavior, cultural heritage, hotel studies, and so on. She has published over 70 journal articles in international hospitality and tourism journals. Dr. Ren is currently an associate editor of the Journal of Hospitality and Tourism Management, and also serves on the editorial boards of several journals. Let's welcome Professor Ren for his presentation.
So, first of all, allow me to express our gratitude, heartfelt gratitude to Jing Xiaozhang and everybody for having us here. And it's our great honor, and we're having a great time here. So, and the topic of my today's sharing is the impact of destination digital environment engagement. Now, we did research on this topic. Is not because we are good or I am good at technology. It's totally the opposite. I'm not good at technology. I'm technologically illiterate. So everywhere I go, especially when I go to technologically advanced places like Korea, I feel frustrated. Why? Because I cannot handle all these digital things. And this trip, I rely on my students a lot. Now, everywhere I go, but then I like traveling. So when I travel to quite a few different places, I find that I suffer less in certain destinations, but I suffer more in some destinations. Then that gave me some inspiration. What can I research about? what aspects of digital destination environment that influence the experience for people like me. So that's the starting point of our research. So and this is something we have observed that everywhere we go, as technology. So sorry, I have prepared a little bit more than I should, so I will run through some of the slides quickly. So everywhere we go, this morning we visited digital art laboratory or museum in Dr. King's University. It's so amazing, very impressive. So and this is everywhere. Technology is everywhere. So we are in touch with technology before the travel, during the travel, and after the travel in various aspects. So this is an example where my students and I visited one of the destinations in Xinjiang, and we did this kind of route analysis. But the thing is that it's so complicated, and the issue is so complicated because the technology is not provided by one provider. And technology services, they are all different. And they are for fulfilling multiple function needs, and also they involve different gadgets and apps. So it's very complicated, and you cannot say that because you cannot get on to certain network, it's because of certain company's fault. It's not. So and that's why and also my studies try to understand how certain app, like for example website or mobile phone app, influence people's experience. But it's not like that, because one app does not solve the whole journey. In the whole journey, we actually encounter so many apps and functions, and in one small mistake, probably it will ruin the whole journey. So that's the problem. And that's why we set out to explore this phenomenon with certain research projects. One of the research projects actually we have completed recently and is now under consideration of one of the leading journals. So this is the example. This is the example destination that we used for this investigation. We want to know which aspects, what dimensions of the digital at destination level, the digital experience. How many aspects there are for a single visit. So we used customer journey the approach to understand this issue. And the result. This is our tentative, analytical framework. And the result is that the digital service, can be informational. We realize a lot on digital, applications for information purpose, but it can also be entertainment. Like the lab we visited this morning, very entertaining. It could be procedural, like a booking. It could be educational. It could be transactional. It could be personalization and social and interactional. So these are the result of our analysis. Now these are the major dimensions that influence our experience. So, but apart from that, we also find that digitalization is not just one-way provision of service. It's digitalization is empowering the tourists to a great extent. Well, the tourists can actually, if they are not satisfied, if their journey is not successful, they can do so much now on internet, so that they can even ruin the business of a certain company. And if they are happy, they can whatever they do on the internet, they can boost the business of the company. So they are very much empowered nowadays. And also, the technology is engaging the tourists, to a great extent. For example, I was a tour guide in last century. I was a tour guide. When I took tourists to visit the Palace Museum in Beijing, how much time we spent in the whole Palace Museum? Can you have a guess? Such a big attraction. We used only 1 hour and a half at that time, because it's just browsing here, browsing there, going in, going out. But now, when we go together with the tourists again to the Palace Museum, we spend more than 4 hours there. Why? Because there are so much information that we can get from the digital applications, and there are so many interactive activities that we can engage the tourists. So the tourist experience, is so much better because of all the digital technologies, the applications. So. But here, at the same time, we find a lot of challenges. Okay, in the past, when we see, this place provides, WeChat Pay, for example, we would say, wow, okay, this place. When we watch the Korean drama, right? This is the scene from Korean drama. So wow, Korea is so advanced. But now, even in many places, we if you don't accept WeChat Pay, Alipay, and we will question you seriously. What? You don't even have WeChat Pay, right? It's developing so fast. Another issue is that a lot of tourists, they find like people like me really a loss of authenticity. We are living in such an era of hyper reality that we don't. For the scene, for example, we saw this morning, so beautiful, but it's not real. It's all in hyper reality. And also when we visit, when we are doing tourism, right, sightseeing, we are often distracted by digital technologies. Like, for example, on this trip, usually when I go on a trip, I will set in my automatic email reply saying that, I'll be traveling and I probably have less, limited access to internet. So forgive me if I cannot reply your email on time. But this time I did not do this. Why? Because this time I'm going to Jeju Island. So this is a place where everywhere you go, you have network. So there's no excuse anymore. But then the difficult thing is that everywhere I go, I was checking my email, and I was replying messages, and that interrupted a lot, my experience a lot. So this is another challenge, that is brought about by digitalization in the destination, and a lot of others. So, and also updatedness, for some, this is one of the examples that, in Macau, for example, a lot of, cars, for example, they have digital applications, but some, less advanced ones, they don't have. And then people will have, they meet a lot of inconsistencies, and they don't know, tourists, they don't know which place has this app, which place do not have this app. So, a lot of inconsistencies like that. And also cross-cultural. Yeah, this place offers very good digital applications, but I don't read their language. But they don't do things in this way. So cross-cultural communication in a digital way still can be a problem for many people. And the other issues. What about the not so smart tourists? So this is another topic we are investigating. Smart destinations for not so smart tourists. So, the concluding remark is that the digital service environment is very important in how it engages tourists. But the thing is that we need to engage everybody instead of just certain people. That will be all for my sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ren, for your comprehensive presentation. Now, let's proceed to our final speaker, Dr. Li Guoyan, who will close today's session by sharing her thoughts on the future of AI in tourism. Dr. Li is an associate professor at Jeju University. His research focuses on service technologies, consumer loyalty, tourism experience. She has authored over 10 peer-reviewed articles and has made a strong contribution to both academic research and industry practice. She is active in several academic and government committees. serving as president of the Korea Academic Society of Tourism and Labor. Dr. Lee has advised local governments and tourism organizations in Jeju on policy, event planning, and tourism development. He combined working in teaching, research, and leadership. Let's welcome Dr. Lee for the final presentation.
My name is Boyoung Lee from Jejuhanlade학교 University. Previous three presentations related researching come up with the findings, but this is not research, but I was wondering how AI is shaping, and I would like to try to compare South Korea and China, and I would like to explore how this the Jeju is adapting these changes. So AI technologies like chatbot, facial recognition, real-time translation, and personalized recommendation systems are already in use. But AI tools are enhancing traveler experience and increasing operation efficiency and improving security and safety measures. So Asia is the third biggest region using AI in tourism industry out of 5 major reasons. And virtual and augmented reality experiences and data analytics platforms are main market share of AI in tourism. And travel agency and hotel industries are a big part of AI application in tourism, especially tour operators and airline industries are getting increased in key application of AI in travel and hospitality. China and South Korea is a leading country, especially in dessert innovation. And China has a strong collaboration between central government and tech giants like Baidu, Alibaba, Tencent. So it is widely integrated across major cities and cultural heritage sites with a unified platform and flexible data regulation. But on the other side, in South Korea, smart tourism is led by local government and the pilot program, and so platform integration is fragmented and data regulation is cautious and privacy-centric. So I can say China is more centralized and fast-paced, while South Korea is decentralized and people-focused. So let's look up the AI opportunity of Jeju. The number of Jeju visitors has been continued to grow since 2000, but there was a slump during COVID-19. Since 2023, international visitors has been increased, while domestic tourists has been decreased. So 1,383,000 were from China. It represents 72% of all foreign tourists. And Chinese tourists are dominant in the overall foreign visitor population of Jeju. So Jeju is a pioneer island in digitalization and innovation. So especially AI offers personalized travel recommendations. So out of top 10 travel apps, actually I use iPlan.ai when I plan to travel to Shanghai, and I put all the information in there. It came out with itinerary and recommended hot places. It was really convenient. And Jeju Tourism Organization, JTO, they developed a big data service platform during COVID-19. So as you see, the red mark, that means it's really growing. So usually this helps supports the disease prevention because people avoid crowds. So even though like UNWTO commented about this big data service platform, so since then J2 extended to they developed app and provided information with the hot places. Even though they provided real time congestion and analysis. And extended to more services to tourists. Jeju Ole is launched by a person, not by Jeju the public organization or local government. Chairwoman So Myung-soo, she developed this 437 kilometer with 27 routes. So usually the passport. Paper passport will be replaced by the QR code and digital QR code. And these apps provide trail navigation. It provides real-time GPS guidance for all Jeju OLED trail, how users stay on the right path. So, walker, if they are out of the if they're on the wrong path, it tells you when you are on the wrong path. So, this is a kind of the status of transforming from to the digitalization status for the OLED. Jeju has 29 festivals. Out of 29 festivals, one of the popular the festival is Grassland Burning Festival on Sevelorum. And it has been transformed into digitalized from this year. So when you see it in your left side, it's real fire. The left side, it's digitalized fire. So the smart hotel technology has been already used. Smart room automation, energy management, keyless entry with your smartphone, predictive maintenance, and optimized housekeeping. And Jeju Tourism Organization, they provide AI, VR, so 24 major Jeju tourist attractions are implemented and released by Jeju Tourism Organization. Jeju supports seniors living alone. So AI care speakers offer companionship using medication reminder with emergency voice recognition to one high. And so AI care call service make twice weekly, so step monitor to connect the elderly with needed services. And Jeju, when you visited Jeju International Airport, right? Jeju International Airport will be the first in Korea to offer tasks with AI-powered interpretation with 13 languages. And Jeju government introduced a virtual news anchor named Jenna. Actually, private contract created and delivered through YouTube weekly with local news using AI generated script at a cost of $450 per month, which is very much inexpensive compared to a human being. So Jeju is evolving and Jeju is advancing sustainable innovation with air mobility, drone taxi, and aerospace education research, and development of global green hydrogen hub. So I would like to conclude with the OECD's recommendation for policymaker. It's a cliche, but we can take a look at it. So we should invest in AI R&D, and we should build up the AI-enabled ecosystem, and we should shape a policy environment for AI, and mostly we should prepare for labor market transitions. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Lee, for your forward-looking presentation. And thanks you again for four speakers for their excellent presentations. To further explore the key insights raised today, we now would like to invite our four speakers into a more interactive discussions. So let's begin from Dr. Lee. Do you have any comments to other three speakers?
First, Professor Lee's work on AI localization is very interesting. Especially her study shows that AI speaking in local accent, dialect, can actually persuade the tourists to adopt to more pro-environmental behavior. It's not a question, I'm just commenting. You don't need to be. So it tell us that AI doesn't just give information, it can carry identity, value, even a sense of morality. So in Jeju, this feels very relevant. The Jeju dialect is classified by UNESCO as critically endangered. Because the Jeju dialect, even Korean people cannot understand. It's a very strong dialect. So interestingly, Kakao Brain company developed already AI dialect translator to preserve the Jeju dialect. So turning to the Professor Liang, he highlighted the idea of new quality productivity, but he also warned us of possible negative feedback loop. So in AI content. So when AI overly optimized for efficiency, we risk falling into homogenization. So where everything starts, look and feel the same. So this is a weird concern because the destination like Jeju thrives on its uniqueness and variety. So I would like to say AI must support creative variety, not just optimize efficiency. And then Professor Ren just gave us broader, very insightful perspective on destination digital environment. I completely agree with you, your points on challenges of AI. We need digital systems that are not just smart, but human-centered with meaningful innovation. Building on this insight, my own presentation focused on different approaches of AI in tourism. When I visited Shanghai, I experienced China's integrated platform model. I just downloaded the Alipay, to taxi, bus, the public transportation, multiple translators. It's one-stop services. It was really convenient. As a foreigner, I really enjoyed it. But on the other hand, Korea's approaches emphasize privacy-centric, pragmatic platform. That means different company have different payment system, like Kakao Pay, Naver Pay, Samsung Pay, even Apple Pay. So to the foreigners, it's really complicated, inconvenient. So at this moment, I just from this perspective, I would like to suggest that in Jeju, we really need to provide a more integrated platform and unified payment system for foreign tourists. And secondly, I would like to share my short personal story to wrap up. 25 years ago, I traveled to California with my parents after my master. Back then, planning a trip, that means it takes weeks. sitting in front of the computer, printing out the paper map, and book the hotels. Even I remember when I just got to the Yosemite National Park, there was huge construction. I had to detour to take a one-way drive. So it's not smart to travel at all. But since the smartphone came out, you just book the room on the way back, on the way to, and I recommend at the restaurant is recommended based on where you are by GPS. So to me, first revolution to free independent travel, FIT, is the navigation. But the second one is AI language translator. When I visited Shanghai a few weeks ago, the front desk clerk, he cannot speak the Korean English at all. But I didn't have any problem. I was satisfied, 100% satisfied with it. But then, 25 years back then, when I worked at MJN, it's the biggest hotel, so guests they are from all around the world. So language barrier was the biggest problem. So once we face that problem, we have to find on the menu. We have to find anyone who can speak their language. If we cannot find them, we have to call to the telephone interpretation services. But the thing is, it doesn't work that much. So it doesn't help at all. So now, and the second one is robot barista. The Venice of China. It come up with the panda, the shaped form on the top. It makes me very smile. So actually, I realized that the hospitality doesn't always need to come from human being. So from both experience, I just want to finalize ultimately come up with this. AI is no longer just a tool. It is becoming a travel companion as AI is getting better developed. So it helps us navigate, discover, and even feel more deeply. But how we design music, that makes all the difference. Thank you.
Do you have any further comments?
Thank you. Actually, thank you. Well, all the presentations and also the comments are very nice, very impressive. I just have one comment on Professor Liang's presentation. And you were saying that the platform actually discriminate. They have price discrimination, and I encountered a lot of times. I just want to know how we can avoid this kind of thing. Yes.
Thank you for your question. So I think about the price discrimination. I think most of the questions can be solved by the technology innovation. If the platform can use some advanced technology to devise it, sometimes it can be solved. But the question is that do the platform managers want to solve it? So yes, they don't want to solve that. So I think from this perspective, it allows from the government to push them to do some design change, to have the more equal designs for all the consumers. Okay.
Now we open the floor for the audience. Do you have any questions? Feel free. If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand.
Thank you for the presentation. I would like to ask Professor I춘샤오. I have one question. As far as I know, Chinese tourism industry is a global power country. and there are many workers engaged in it. I know that AI technology is applied to the tourism industry. Perhaps the world will move in this direction. As a researcher at the Chinese university, the exciting manpower problem and the replacement of AI will be important research project in the future. And I wonder if the professor thought and the Chinese government countermeasures are being discussed. 我想知道中国政府有没有这种就是人力资源的问题和中国差年的这样是我们这个拿出 AI 这种条件的就是中国学校的大学的教授的身份和中国政府的那种立场你们有没有什么对应的那种方式或者是考虑的问题
May I just repeat the question and see if I can understand it correctly? Do you mean the opinions or the policies from the government regarding the AI implementation?
我的意思呢，就是中国已经这个观光产业里边已经有工作的人员特别多。就是但是这种 AI 的发展之后呢，就是劳动这个人力资源的问题也存在，所以这个方向是已经完全同意了，因为全世界的观光产业呢已经逐向的方向呢已经都一致了。但是你们这个里边，尤其是你是那个中国大学的教授、研究者和那个。我不是问的是中国政府的政策，就是你们有没有这个
How to solve the problem when AI replace more and more human labors? 怎么操作 Can I answer this in Chinese? Okay. It's a very important and interesting question, I think, for Chinese government and for university scholars. At first, we all thought we might be replaced by AI. So we feel lots of pressure from this, and even for government. But with the development of AI technology, we more and more realize that it may need more labor, human labor, to do more smarter work, to collaborate with AI. For example, just take tourism industry as an example. We can see lots of digital human applied in tourism attractions. But there are lots of problems or questions during the implementation process. Two big questions. One is that they are very slow. For example, our university has collaborated with a national company who owns 6 tourism hubs. They designed a very, complicated platform, even with the local digital characters to serve the tourist demand to be a tourism company. But if you ask one question to this digital person, it's called DAY2. It takes almost 2 minutes or 3 minutes to make it to respond to you, which makes the tourist just give up to try. That's why it needs more and more people who knows computing and programming implementation to solve this problem. And the other big challenge is this kind of digital human, they are very clumsy. They even doesn't sound like a human, not to mention sounds like a tourism company. That's why the company collaborates with Nankai University to hire tourism scholars to solve this problem, including Professor Liang, to design how to make the digital person sounds like a human, speak like a human, and to provide professional knowledge of communication with tourists, like real tour guide or real company. So to some extent, I don't think it's a big challenge that AI can replace human, but it may give lots of demand for us to master or to learn more high technology skills to collaborate or to work with AI to provide better experience for tourists. That's all.
Any further questions? Feel free to raise your question.
May I have a question to Professor Li Boyan? Actually, when I live in Jeju, I found that there are many business entities like Lotmart, GS25, CU. The convenience stores they provide WeChat Pay service, and actually it's really convenient to the Chinese tourists. And as you mentioned that you have been to Shanghai and many cities in China, and what further cooperation opportunities between China and Korea do you think in the future?
You mean in tourism?
In tourism and culture,
perspective?
yeah.
You mean payment services you're talking about? Like
Any kind of,
everything?
yeah, anything.
It takes time to think about it, but it comes up with the thought that I was convenient when I was there, when I used Alipay. It's your country's one. I have to download your country's, but I have to understand the Chinese. You know what? So, but when the Chinese company visit in Jeju, you can use Alipay here actually. So this is a kind of Korea doesn't provide Korean own payment system to tourists. So I think for the Korean industry, we have to do more. You know, as I said, the Koreans are more focused on Korea more focused on people and the program. And then it's the innovation is led by the local government, but it takes time. But I don't know the future. But at this moment, we really need the integrated payment system for Korea because it was newer than when I was in Shanghai. I really enjoyed using that. But for the collaboration. Because I don't know, for the marketing, because Korea tried to welcome, so that's why Chinese people can use it here, but at this moment, I don't know, collaboration, I need time to think about it, but Korea need to develop payment system, unified development system. That's what I want to emphasize, actually.
Okay, thank you, Professor.
Any further question?
I want to add one more opinion to the question he raised. I think there must be many rooms for two countries or institutions from two countries for tourism area, in the tourism area. We at this time I heard very interesting applications to tourism, but mostly from the viewpoint of the consumers in tourism. But there are many issues at the same time from the supply side. And when we apply AI, for example, technology, we can create totally different tourism service and tourism products. I mean, totally different tourism experience. For example, in real, say, physical space, some, say, tourism facilities are not allowed, never can be allowed. But when we move the environment of the physical real space to, for example, to virtual, then we can say set up any such facilities, tourism, I mean experience, entertainment facilities, imaginable, and then can provide a totally different, say, experience to the, say, consumers. This is just one simple example. We will have a totally new, say, area or world in tourism. But as for AI technology, yes, Chinese is far ahead of our, say, level. And this is true, say, with second, say, competitive, say, competitiveness on the world level. And we are in the following group. And so from my, say, opinion, perspective, there are many routes to develop and to do some research, or to develop some such a system. And so there are many, say, rooms for cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you, President Kim.
Thank you. I want to ask Professor, and when we this day we live in Jeju, and when we paying some place ask me to pay only cash or credit card, and some place when we use the credit card and we have to sign, is a big problem for Chinese. I want to ask whether it is a structural problem about this. Structural problem? It is
Structural problem of Korea, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I speak like very fast because when I see, I really don't have time, and now we have plenty of time. So can I speak slowly now? A little bit. So, as President Kim pointed out, there is Korea is very complicated. Different companies provide different payment. It's very complicated. It's the central government saying, you have the collaboration between giant tech and tech giant and the central government. That's the result of integrated payment system. But the Korea, it's hard. So I guess, as President Kim says, it's a little complicated. So, but as a customer, as a tourist, as a consumer, it's very inconvenient. The foreigner, when foreigner visit here, payment system. When I visit the restaurant, I was really frustrated by there's no menu in Shanghai. Just you have to check with yourself when you have to order the food through the. So my husband was very frustrated to order food. The thing is, and I was really surprised by the speed of the development of in China. The robot is very commercialized there. And 20 or 20 years when I visit the Beijing. There was the air pollution problem, but now lots of electronic car and the robots are commercialized, and So in Korea, he said that we are a following group, but there's maybe within 5 years we can see more rooms for cooperation between China and Korea. But as a tourist, I think I really would point out this payment system. The thing is, in here in Jeju, even you cannot pay your cash in bus when you on board. You cannot pay cash. So I think it's gonna be served, but I cannot say I'm not in policymaker, so maybe it might be getting better and better. But we have to think about.
Any questions from the audience?
Thanks for your presentation, and I have a question. And is there white light in Jizhou? Takeaway food. Because in the presentation of Professor Lee, I see you have show some key difference between
Food delivery services? The best food delivery service we have.
white light.
White light? What is white light?
Food. Yeah.
Oh, we do have food delivery. I think it's best. The speed is the best in the world.
We can see many takeaway food in Chinese streets, but didn't see any one-man 小哥。我就想知道有没有外卖在济州的，就是美团外卖那种外卖。
Could you help us?
Thank you.
Since I live here for 3 years, so now I think I can answer this question. Yeah, there is Wi-Fi food delivery in Jeju, but different company. Yeah, like in China we use WeChat, but here we use Kakao. Here there's many food delivery app, right?
Food delivery?
Yeah, food delivery app like Coupang Eat.
Coupang, you know what? The food delivery is very fast. Even the delivery services, I think the best in the world. You order at midnight, tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. it come. It arrived.
Yeah.
So
Also here like Coupang is very convenient. Here like Jingdong in China. So usually when I order mineral water in the morning and it will deliver at night. Yeah, so it's very convenient.
the thing is, I think when I was in the United States, 50 states are there. You have a big, huge continent, but in Korea it's small, so it doesn't take that long. So when I tried to have the repair services with my cell phone in the United States, it took 7 days for the delivery. But in Korea, less than 1 day, just half days. You're welcome.
My name is Jun Han from Tama University, Japan. I really thankful today. I really is really honored to be here. And as a tourism researcher myself, it's really insightful, and I would like to thank all of these distinguished professors. And I would like to just ask one question to all of you. I just wonder if you have any ongoing research project or new research project related to today's topic. Just could you share if you can?
Yeah, thank you very much for your question, and all the way from Japan. Yes, as I shown on the PPT, there were 2 studies we have completed and published. But now, just as I mentioned, our college has a collaboration program with the biggest national company who want to develop AI technology for its tourism hubs. And they hired us to do a big project which includes 2 parts. The first one is that how to design a platform and digital communication human or speaker embedded on this platform to serve tourists, just like what I said, which is a part conducted by Professor Liang. And the other one is for each tourism hub, how to improve their tourism service, or how to increase the tourism attractiveness through all kinds of AI technologies based on the fundamental drive of tourists. Because there's one problem for us to understand tourists is their motivations change so quickly. We cannot understand younger people born after 2000. We don't know what they really need, and their motivations just change dramatically and rapidly year by year. But if we can explore or find out what's the underneath fundamental drive for everyone, maybe there are different types of fundamental needs, then we can explain or forecast the future motivations of younger people. And that's one of the main things they hired us to do, to find out the fundamental drives, to explain the motivation demand. That's the ongoing project our research team are doing now.
Okay, thank you for your question. Actually, us too, we have some ongoing research going on, and mine is still related to how digitalization frustrates tourists. So one of the study that we have collected data from 2020 until now, so we interviewed the people and we asked them to share. We did it. We have been doing it through the technique of critical incident technique. So we collected data so far, and then we are analyzing. So what exactly is frustrating the tourists? The idea came from the COVID period. Actually, when the COVID happened, what frustrated most of us is how to get the green code, QR code. Yeah, if in Macau, because Macau is a very small place, if you don't get green code, you don't get to cross the border or go to anywhere. Yeah, and if we want to go to work in school, we have to show the QR code first. So, and that's something that frustrates a lot of people. So this inspired us to start a research in this topic, and we are following another study that is survey based. Again, how technology frustrates tourists. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. As I mentioned in my presentation, I have presented a lot of opportunities and potential risks brought by AI application. So one of the main ongoing project is to observe what is the unintended consequence brought by AI application in different contexts. Because as we think that the main important thing is not if we find the risks or if we observe the risks brought by AI application, how can we fix it? It's easy. But the one thing is, at many times we don't know the potential risks brought by some application of AI. So it gives us some opportunities to do the research to find out how the AI application brought some risks through conducting a lot of field experiment or maybe natural experiment. I think it's an interesting research direction in the future.
I have one question. The service value by the human being service versus the service value by robot. How people can react differently to both of them. That could be my research question.
Due to the time limits, we will now conclude our session. Please feel free to contact with our speakers after the session if you would like to continue the conversation. I would like to sincerely thank all four speakers for their valuable contribution. Special thanks to the Jeju Forum organization team for making this session possible. Thank you all once again for your participation and attention. We hope today's session has sparked new ideas, connections, and future collaborations. Enjoy the rest of the time at the 20th Jeju Forum. We look forward to see you in the future. Have a good day. Thank you.